Have your eardrums recovered? Well, good. Let's jump in because it's Eurovision this week and it's time for me to give up on every adult responsibility in my maturing, cheese-filled life. Eurovision has a special place in my heart. It's the only place where veneers are considered the favourite. Serbia has brought Ghostbusters as backup dancers, and let's not forget Croatia! I will vote for them, I feel no shame, and no one can stop me. There is a slight problem, and that is after the 13th. There's no more Eurovision. What is a poverty goblin like myself meant to do? Get a different hobby? I don't think so. That is why I'm suggesting Eurovision the video game. Now hear me out, Eurovision broadcasters. You could make money. I have seen and brought Eurovision merch. I know you like money. For the last few days I've been playing Eurosong. It is a little quaint game inspired by Eurovision. You make a few choices and then you get to see your entry perform. I made my very own Ukrainian entry. I don't know why, but I feel like this should be punished as a new hate crime. Eurovision, nudity for all the family. This tiny game has kept me going for weeks. It is a small morsel compared to what a game could actually be. If Eurovision made a game, I would lose my mind and my wallet.
Italy!
And before anyone says, how can you make a video game out of Eurovision? It's just a singing contest. If we can have Football Manager for the 19th time, we can have Eurovision Supervisor. You are good to go! Now the dole among us will argue that the crossover between a Eurovision fan and a gamer isn't that large. This is where I'll say, Eurovision fans spend 6 months of the year arguing over tiny details about who is the best. Change a Eurovision entry with a recent released video game, and you'll find yourself playing a very complicated game to spot the difference. And there is another thing that gets overlooked. That is the dark, shameful secret of every Eurovision fan, and the fact they hoover the floor clean for any Eurovision crumbs. With a video game, even if they didn't really play video games, they would buy it just for the fun of it, just to have a small dose of Eurovision fun in their life after May has occurred. And to be frank, I would love a game where I could send Poland to the final, which has actually been chosen by the Polish public.
United Kingdom!
Send a rubbish song, get last place, act surprised. That is our British tradition. Thank you for joining me with my Eurovision talk today, and I hope all of you enjoy the grand final and the many more to come in the future. During the grand final, I'll be taking a shot every time someone mentions the war, because I hope to be paralytic by the end of the evening, and that no one else forgets the reason why we're hosting in Liverpool is not via musical choice, but the violent actions of a violent community. Well, that was a bit dark, wasn't it? But let's end on a lighter note and hope in the next few years a video game will be announced and we all get to enjoy it. But until then, let's remember one important thing.
Croatia!